At the beginning of the story, it is said that around 65 million years ago, a meteor crashed into Earth, wiping out all traces of dinosaurs. However, despite such a massive catastrophe, some members of the main tribe, like ℤ𝔬𝔭𝔫, managed to survive. The meteor left behind a huge crater, and inside it, a glowing rock remained scorching hot. The tribe tried to touch it, but it was too hot, so they started kicking it toward each other. Eventually, this turned into a game, what looked like football, soccer. One of the tribe members even made a painting of them playing this new game. Generations later, in the same crater, members of the Ming tribe began to settle with their wild boar named ℎ𝔬𝔏. One morning, a tribal call echoed, and a young boy rushed to wake up Bobo, the tribal chief, so they could go hunting. He woke up other tribe members as well to join the hunt. They always hunted rabbits. But this time, the boy questioned, why not hunt a larger animal today? He even showed a painting of what looked like their ancestors playing football. Though no one else knew what football was, they assumed it was just a hunting scene. The boy wondered aloud, what if our ancestors didn't know how to draw a rabbit and just made it round by mistake? The rest of the tribe laughed at him, thinking he was being foolish. We can't hunt a giant mammoth with our tiny weapons. We've only ever hunted rabbits. Still, they all set out to hunt rabbits. The boy tried using gestures to warn others about a rabbit nearby, but no one understood him. As the rabbit ran, he chased it and eventually caught it. But due to his companion's clumsy behavior, it escaped. Luckily, it hit a rock and fell unconscious, and the boy grabbed it. Everyone was thrilled. That night, they celebrated together. The boy asked, even though we only caught a rabbit, didn't you all see how powerful we were together? Suddenly, ℎ𝔬𝔏 sensed something and looked toward the jungle. The others also turned and listened quietly. They could hear something big moving in their direction. The tribe grabbed their weapons and cautiously moved into the jungle. But just as they did, someone shot an arrow, knocking their weapons out of their hands. Suddenly, the tribe members were attacked with arrows. Doug tried to fight back, but it had no effect. Then, a soldier riding a mammoth appeared in front of them. The tribe panicked and began to run. The soldiers attacked Doug, but he managed to save himself and led the tribe out of the valley. When they couldn't see Doug anymore, the tribe grew very anxious. They didn't want to leave without him. Meanwhile, Doug was hiding and watching the mammoths. 3 mammoths, controlled by soldiers from the Bronze City, arrived. The minister of the city was delighted upon inspecting the area, realizing that the valley contained hidden gold. He ordered an excavation to begin immediately. One of the soldiers asked, what about the tribe? The minister replied that they didn't need to worry about them. The tribe could live outside the valley. The old times were over. And now the valley belonged to the people of the Bronze Age. Doug became furious and charged at Lord ℎ𝔬𝔏 with a weapon, but accidentally, he fell into a cart and got knocked unconscious. ℎ𝔬𝔏 saw him but chose not to fight the soldiers and save Doug, instead pretending not to notice and loudly walked away. Doug later found himself inside Bronze City. He tried to escape, but the gates were locked. As he explored, he saw many new things he had never seen before. When he touched a bronze pot at a shop, the shopkeeper, ℬ𝔬𝔏, became upset with him. Suddenly, a crowd began rushing toward the stadium for a football match. Doug followed them. People were giving bronze coins as tickets, and Doug looked confused, which drew attention. The soldiers began chasing him. While running, Doug knocked out one of the players and put on his uniform. The coach mistook Doug for the real player and sent him onto the field. The match began between 2 teams. Doug became the goalkeeper, but got hit by the ball and fell down. That impact triggered a memory of his ancestors playing football in the cave paintings. Doug kicked the ball but accidentally scored in his own team's net. His teammates and the crowd booed and insulted him. Just then, the real goalkeeper showed up and Doug's mask was removed. Lord ℎ𝔬𝔏 was furious and shouted, how dare you step onto our sacred field and play our holy game? Doug replied, why did you throw us out of our valley and treat us like we're nothing? ℎ𝔬𝔏 coldly said, you don't belong on this land, and I'm not here to debate. You'll all be gone soon. The guards dragged Doug away. But before they could take him, Doug broke the match ball with a spear and challenged the champion team to a new match. Everyone was shocked. Doug declared, if we win, we stay in the valley, and you'll never bother us again. If you win, we'll leave forever. ℬ𝔬𝔏 smugly agreed, confident that Doug's team could never beat the bronze players. Besides, the match would attract a huge crowd and more bronze coins for him, so he accepted Doug's challenge. On the other side, the soldiers completely sealed off the valley so no one from the tribe could enter, which made the tribespeople very upset. Doug arrived carrying a football, and everyone was happy to see him safe. He showed the ball to the tribe and explained that the minister of Bronze City had said if they won a football match, they'd get their valley back, but if they lost, they'd have to work in the mines for the rest of their lives. Since no one had ever played football before, they were unsure how they could compete against Bronze City. Doug explained that the ancient paintings they thought were about hunting were actually about playing football. The tribe was hesitant to play at first, but Doug and the others pleaded with them, and reluctantly, they agreed. Everyone in the tribe happily got ready to play football. Doug made a circle and began explaining the game, but the tribe didn't understand anything. At first, one of them knocked Doug down, and the rest attacked the football with their weapons. Doug calmed them down and began training them properly. Meanwhile, the Queen of Bronze City and FIFA's messenger arrived to deliver a message to Lord ℎ𝔬🔫, saying that a football match had been arranged with the Valley people. If they lost, the consequences would be severe, and she would punish him. This made ℬ𝔬🔫 furious, and he insulted the Queen after she left. He then ordered his soldiers to stop the messenger before she could return to FIFA, or he'd be punished. Back at the Valley, Doug was practicing football with the tribe when suddenly a boar stepped on the ball and burst it. Doug became very disheartened because that was their only football, and without it, they couldn't practice. Doug told the tribe to forget about football and accept working in the mines. Even if we can't live in the valley anymore, we're still together, and that's what really matters, he said. But Doug didn't listen to his own words. Instead, he and ℎ𝔬𝔏 went to Bronze City to get another football. They sneaked past the guards and entered the palace. Doug left ℎ𝔬𝔏 to keep watch and entered the main arena, but accidentally fell from the seating area. Meanwhile, ℎ𝔬𝔏 distracted Lord ℬ𝔬𝔫 by pretending to be his servant. ℬ𝔬𝔫, thinking ℎ𝔬𝔏 was his masseur, asked for a massage, and ℎ𝔬𝔏 began massaging him. On the field, ℬ𝔬𝔫 was practicing football. She saw Doug and asked, "Why are you here? If someone sees you, you'll be in danger." Doug told her about the football getting destroyed. Together, they started crafting a new football using a bag. While working, ℬ𝔬𝔫 admitted, "I've always been a little jealous. You're going to play on the sacred field in front of thousands. I've seen you. You're really good. I believe that one day, you'll make it too." Doug responded, "You play so well. I know you'll be a part of the team someday." ℬ𝔬𝔫 explained, "Girls aren't allowed on the football team in the city. That's why I sneak in to practice here." Suddenly, the football guard discovered that ℬ𝔬𝔫 and Doug were stealing a football and called the soldiers. Doug dropped a football on the ground, and ℬ𝔬𝔫 kicked it, knocking the soldiers over. Taking advantage of the moment, both of them ran away. The servant found out about Doug's presence, but before he could act, a football hit him on the head and he fell into a barrel. Doug and ℬ𝔬𝔫 jumped out the window and escaped. ℬ𝔬𝔫 was brought to Doug's tribe and introduced to everyone. She told them about the Bronze City's football team, which discouraged the tribe. They felt they could never defeat them. ℬ𝔬𝔫 explained that although the Bronze players were dangerous, their team lacked unity. Everyone thinks they're better than each other, and they don't listen to one another. That's their biggest weakness. We can use that to win. She began giving the tribe intense training and taught them football properly. They even made their own uniforms and shoes. Meanwhile, Doug came across an ancient painting inside the valley made by his own ancestors, showing them playing football. He worried, "Whatever happens, the queen must not find out about this." Soon, the message bird delivered a letter from Queen Ofifa saying, "I know now that the cavemen have been playing football for 100 years. My spies tell me they are practicing daily and improving. If we lose this match, I'll punish you by sending you to the mines." Panicked, the messenger visited a researcher working in the mines, who showed him an ancient mural from the valley. It revealed that the cavemen had invented football and taught it to others, but had never won a single match. "You assumed from the paintings that your ancestors were football champions. But that's not true. They created the game, but they never won. Eventually, they got so frustrated that they gave it up." Then the messenger said, "You now understand that you can't beat us in football. So I'm offering you a deal to avoid more trouble." After hearing the deal, Doug had a vision. Soldiers were beating his friends and forcing them to work in the mines. Doug deeply regretted his decision. Suddenly, ℎ𝔬𝔏 arrived, but Doug left without saying a word. ℎ𝔬𝔏 entered the valley and was shocked by all the ancient paintings. The next day, the entire Bronze City gathered at the football field to watch the match. Even Queen Ofifa arrived with her royal guards. Soldiers brought Doug to the field and declared, "By forfeiting the match, your tribe must now work in the mines, and from this day forward, the valley will belong to Bronze City." Everyone was stunned. They didn't understand what had just happened. The truth was, Doug had made a deal to forfeit the match in exchange for the freedom of his friends working in the mines. Just then, Bowman and the rest of the tribe arrive and sit down. Bowman says, "You're going to give up just because of some old paintings? I want to tell you, that's all in the past. We live in the present. We must forget those paintings and rewrite history. You taught me that we weren't born just to hunt rabbits. We must save our valley." Doug is moved by Bowman and the others' words. He once again challenges the Bronze A team to a football match, and everyone is happy. Both teams enter the field, and the match begins. At first, the Bronze team doesn't pay attention to ℎ𝔬𝔫, and taking advantage of that, ℎ𝔬𝔫 scores a goal. Everyone is shocked. They can't believe ℎ𝔬𝔫 scored against the Bronze team. The Bronze team's captain quickly scores 2 goals, which discourages ℎ𝔬𝔫's team. But Doug calms everyone down and tells them to focus on the game. The Bronze team scores another goal, increasing their lead. The crowd cheers for them, and even Root praises their game. The first half ends, and after the break, the game resumes. ℎ𝔬𝔫 recalls training with large rocks. Remembering this, he steals the ball and passes it to ℎ𝔬𝔫, who scores easily. The Bronze players start arguing with each other after ℎ𝔬𝔫's goal. Taking advantage of the moment, ℬ𝔬𝔫 speeds up and scores another goal, earning admiration from everyone. ℬ𝔬𝔫 is thrilled by the praise. Root realizes that ℬ is not from the valley, but from Bronze City, but he doesn't tell anyone. Instead, he knocks out the referee and takes his place. Doug tries to stop him from becoming the referee, but Root doesn't listen. As referee, Root secretly helps the Bronze team injure ℎ𝔬🔠. The Bronze players deliberately hit ℎ𝔬🔠 and knock him down, but Root doesn't penalize them. One of the Bronze players kicks the ball hard, and while trying to stop it, ℬ collides and gets injured. Taking advantage of the chaos, Doug rushes to score, but Root kicks the ball away. Root falls to the ground and fakes an injury, awarding a penalty to the Bronze team. Doug gets angry seeing this, but doesn't say anything. Root tells him, "I wasted my life hunting, and I stopped you from rising. Please forgive me." He then passes out. The rest of the team fears he might be dead and starts crying, but soon he starts snoring. They realize he's only asleep. Since there weren't many players left, Doug takes the goalkeeper's place. As the match nears its end, the Bronze team takes the penalty kick, but no saves it. The Bronze players rush to score again, but Doug, with the help of his teammates, takes a final shot that sends the ball flying into the goal with such force that the goalkeeper crashes through the goalpost along with the ball. ℎ𝔬🔠's team scores 6 goals, Bronze team 3. Time runs out. Doug lowers the final whistle, and ℎ𝔬🔠's team wins. The Bronze captain starts crying after the loss, but Doug consoles him and praises him, which makes him smile. Viba enters the field and praises Doug, saying, "You've won the game. You can stay in the valley now, and you don't have to worry. I'll punish Root." But Root had already disappeared. He tries to escape with all the Bronze players under the Red Mask banner. ℬ and ℬ stop him and attack. ℬ grabs Root in her beak and thrashes him, causing all the Bronze team members to fall among the villagers. The people retrieve their money from them. Viba gives the football trophy to Doug, and all his companions celebrate with great joy. They lift him on their shoulders and cheer for him. ℎ𝔬🔠 and the team return to their valley and paint their football team's victory on Bobno Rock. Later, Doug goes hunting with the tribe and some Bronze players. But suddenly, they hear a strange, terrifying sound. Everyone gets scared and runs away. However, it turns out it wasn't a monster. It was just a rabbit pretending to be a shadow to scare them. And with that, the movie ends.